Welcome to another video from the Wheelman. Today we've got another set of wheels from Chris Slix. These are part of his Alfa Romeo Giulia build. He's decided to go for a slightly different colour with these wheels. We'll see exactly what that colour is later on in the video. First, let's have a look at the wheels. So these are off an Alfa Romeo Giulia. Actually a really nice set of wheels these, very nice design. I'm pretty certain this is the standard colour. It's like a dark grey, quite similar to Orbit Grey 2, which is a BMW colour. Really nice wheels. Not a lot of damage on most of the wheels. However, one of them, this is on the impact side. Obviously, it's a crash damaged car that he's working on. And you can see that's taken a really big bang there on the side. We're not going to repair this one. Fortunately, he's already bought a replacement wheel. Just going to need to open this up, make sure it is definitely the correct wheel. Fingers crossed that it is. Let's have a look. Yeah, good news. It is the same wheel. Just check the markings on the back and it definitely matches the damaged one over there. That's good. So next thing, let's get these tyres off. He's not going to be keeping these tyres. He has got some new ones for it. These, I think, are just some pretty worn winter tyres. He's definitely going to want something a bit more with better grip than these. One thing we do need to take care of, this damaged wheel, they have TPMS, like tyre pressure sensors installed. We need to make sure this gets moved over to the brand new wheel when we come to put the tyres back on. First stage, of course, is removing the tyres. We just start by breaking the beads on the tyre, front and back, and then loading the wheel onto the tyre machine, and then carefully using a tyre iron just to remove the tyres, making sure not to add any further damage to the wheels. Whilst removing the tyres, we discovered that one of the wheels actually has quite a large buckle and a crack on the same spot. We're going to have to make our minds up whether or not we're going to use this wheel as part of the refurbishment or not. So just remove the tyres off these wheels. On closer inspection, you can actually see there's quite a big chunk missing from this wheel that's been replaced. It should be okay. We'll be able to weld this section back in. We'll get this sent out probably tomorrow to the welders. One of the back wheels also has quite a bit of damage around the rim. Again, we can get that bit welded. And then one of the other wheels, I think we're going to need to replace this. It's not only buckled quite badly, but it also has a really big crack. If it was just one or the other, we'd probably be able to sort it. Being that it's on a performance car, I have recommended it's probably better to replace. Obviously, you want to keep all four wheels on the ground. The last thing you want to do is have something like this being a failure point. So I think he's going to look to replace this one wheel. So for now, we'll get these these three wheels in the acid stripped, and we'll get these two off to the welders. It's a good job he's got some new tyres, because this is the inside of one of them. Completely shredded. Look at that. Yeah, that's no good. Not roadworthy at all. So just like that, we've got the three wheels stripped. They all need blasting now and prepping. We've already sent them out to the welders. He's done a great job of getting rid of that massive chunk missing out of this wheel. And he's also corrected it on this wheel as well. Both look fantastic. Obviously, they need prepping, they need blasting. We've noticed, typical, all three wheels are buckled. One's particularly bad. The other two aren't too bad, but if we're getting the other one done, we might as well get all three done together. So next thing is we're going to take these to get the buckles sorted. Going to load them in the car, get them sent out, hopefully get them back pretty soon. We're still waiting on the fourth wheel. We are slightly up against the clock now, obviously with it delaying us slightly with the additional wheel needing to be ordered, and also these wheels being buckled. But not to worry, we'll get on with it and hopefully have these back in no time at all. And like I say, fingers crossed that fourth wheel, that replacement wheel, is all sound when it arrives. And like magic, the new wheel finally arrived. However, that wheel is also buckled. Typical. Not to worry though, we managed to get it over to the wheel straighteners, and fortunately they're able to do that wheel whilst we waited. So all four wheels are now back here. They're just being prepped at the moment, being blasted, so they're ready for the oven shortly. All four wheels have now come out of the acid. They've been through the prep station, so they've got rid of any of the curb damage, blasted them, so the metal's nice and etched. The powder's going to stick really well. These just need blowing off. We'll get them into the oven for outgas. Once they've been outgassed, we can start doing them in the powder coat colour of choice. The next stage of this process is just getting the wheels outgassed. Aaron just starts by blowing off all the wheels, making sure that there's no dust on the wheels. A masking disc is applied to the back of the wheel and foil to the front, just to make sure that areas that shouldn't be powder coated aren't powder coated. Outgassing is a really crucial part of this process. With alloy wheels being porous, they can trap impurities inside the metal, which, if not baked away, can actually cause problems when we're powder coating later on. These wheels are outgassed at about 180 degrees for around about 20 to 30 minutes. Once at temp, they're taken out and the powder coating process starts. Aaron starts by applying a black powder coat primer, followed by the colour. Chris has decided to go with a bronze colour for his wheels, so as you can see, Aaron is applying a bronze powder coat to the face. The wheels are returned to the oven where they're going to bake off, just to make sure the powder is completely flowed out and baked. Once at temp, they're taken back out of the oven, ready for lacquer stage. Once the wheels have reached the correct temperature, Aaron can start the lacquer process. Lacquer is applied to the wheels inside and out, front and back, and the wheels are replaced back in the oven where they'll complete their final bake cycle for around about 30 minutes. When the lacquer's applied, it actually looks like a white powder. When it's returned to the oven, it will slowly start to melt as it reaches the correct temperature, and you'll be left with a fully glossed wheel by the end. And here is the final result, a really deep gloss metallic bronze. This is a massive transformation this. You can see the old original colour. It's really difficult to get this bronze colour correct on video. It's a really deep bronze. I think this is going to look fantastic on the car against that white, pearly white bodywork. Just need to make sure we get the tyre pressure sensors all installed, make sure we get that one moved over from the original wheel. Tyres back on and balanced. The one thing we're currently waiting on at the moment is the tyres. Seems to have been quite a few hold-ups with this job, unfortunately, out of our hands. So once the tyres do turn up, we'll then start getting the tyres installed, and then we'll get them back to Chris. Right, so unfortunately there's no sign of these tyres, and today's Friday, and it's about to break up into a bank holiday Monday, and we're closed for the next 3 days. So the only option is to now install the old tyres, which isn't ideal, just so Chris can move his vehicle about his workshop. Also, he was ideally going to get the car into the body shop today or this weekend, so at least it'll allow him to get his car onto the trailer to be able to move it to the body shop. So next stage is installing these old tyres, making sure we put the tyre pressure sensors back into the wheels, and then we'll be dropping them back to him probably later today or maybe tomorrow. These are the tyre pressure sensors. These are what communicate with the vehicle. Just tells your car exactly what the tyre pressure is, what the temperature of the tyre is as well. These come apart. So this is the actual valve stem that you guys can see. Normally when you're going to inflate your tyres, you don't usually see this bit. This actually sits inside the tyre. We can change these valve stems. We have different colours in stock. So Chris has decided to go with a black valve stem. So we'll get all these swapped over and install them into the wheels and then start getting the tyres on. It suddenly occurred to me that I hadn't tested to make sure that these sensors were actually still working. Fortunately, our scan tool confirmed all 4 were fine. Now that all the valve stems have been replaced, we can begin the final stage, which is mounting the tyres. Wheels are loaded onto the tyre machine and tyre soap is applied to the tyres. Sensors are carefully installed and every precaution is taken to ensure tyres are installed without damaging the freshly powder coated wheels. Everything was going so smoothly with the tyre fitting before we ran into our next problem. So we were going to put the damaged tyre back on, which obviously we knew had the damage internally, just hoping that you could obviously move the vehicle around and whatnot. And then we've just realised it's actually got a, where is it? Somewhere around here. Here. It's got a massive hole on the front. So it won't hold air at all, which isn't good. We've got a spare tyre, but unfortunately that is for the front. So that's not going to fit on this rear wheel. Alternatives, I mean, the last thing I want to do is give him this wheel back, just so he can move the car around. And because it's flat, damage the wheel, obviously, whilst it's flat. alternatives, we do have another rear wheel, but this is the one that originally had that tyre on it, and this is the one that actually has the massive buckle and the massive crack right there, look. So that's not going to hold air either, which I suppose, to be fair, doesn't really make a difference because the tyre's not going to hold air. So maybe this is a better alternative, is whipping that tyre back off again, and then putting it on this one for now. So at least if it does damage the wheel or the tyre any further, it doesn't really matter because it's a scrap wheel, and then it's preserving this wheel right here. Yeah, that makes more sense. Let's do that. So let's get that quickly swapped over, and we'll get it onto these. There's no point balancing these wheels just yet because these aren't the tyres that are staying on the wheels anyway. He's just using them to move the car about. So yeah, once this is swapped back over to the old wheel, I think we're done. Okay, right, so I think we are about there now. So I've left the tyre pressure sensor inside this wheel. The last thing we want to do is have that go missing or be chucked away when the tyre's replaced. So this has got just a normal valve stem in there. The tyre's completely deflated, it's not holding the air, but at least it can still mount it onto the car and move the car about. So let's get these loaded up into the vehicle and we'll get them dropped off to him later today. I guarantee we'll get a phone call as soon as we load these in the car saying that the tyres have arrived. It'll either be today or tomorrow morning, and it'll all be for nothing. But let's try and stay positive. Either way, all that matters is he needs to move his car so we can get it to the body shop and obviously move it in his workshop. So this is the better option for now. At least he can move his car about, and obviously with us being closed for the next 3 days, at least he's got his wheels back. Before we load the wheels into the car, we just apply the final touches, making sure to put the centre caps back in and apply some tyre shine. This colour is really hard to capture properly on camera, but hopefully you can see the end result. Let's hope Chris is happy with the outcome. Here we are back at Chris Slix's unit. Here he is.
They were banging, didn't they?
Yeah, really happy with how these have come out.
Should we just see him against the car?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like this is going to look mega. This is a rear or a front?
That is a rear.
Oh.
Yeah.
I felt that colour works perfect with the white.
Yeah. I think you definitely made the right choice there.
So some people are going to hate the white, but it's pearl white, and that is a pearly bronze, and I think it's a perfect match.
Sound.
Love that, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, obviously that's the one that had the, we've left the tyre off that one, like we said, because that one is on this one instead. Tyre's not inflating. Last thing we want to do is obviously move this around. Well, obviously you move it around and damage this fresh wheel.
That'd be a shame.
Yeah. Right, we'll leave you to it. We're excited to see this fully built up.
Give me a week.
Yeah.
It won't be long, it won't be long.
Fantastic. As you might have seen in Chris's latest video, he actually decided to wrap his car green, which I think suits the wheels even better. I hope you've enjoyed watching the process start to finish. If you have, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We have more videos coming soon. Let us know what you think of the colour in the comments section down below. Personally, this is one of my favourites. If you'd like to get your wheels refurbished, we're based in the Midlands. All our details are in the description below. Thanks for watching this video, we'll see you soon.